Hello, everyone.
Hello. I didn't know you actually clicked go. All right, today we're talking about fibromyalgia. My 10 fibromyalgia. Can I try it again? My 10 fibromyalgia treatments that really work. For those of you who don't know, have had fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, and fibromyalgia since 1988. Well, I can't remember if it's 87 or 88. We were actually diagnosed in 88, but we may have had it in 87. So
sorry, I was thinking of the fibromyalgia jokes on the website.
Yes.
Wait, you can't remember if it's 87?
So how many years is that, dear?
34.
34 years that I have had chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia. For me, I would say I've almost cured my chronic fatigue syndrome. Not quite, but I would say I'm 80% there. And my fibromyalgia, I'm about 80% there with my fibromyalgia also. So as you can see from this picture that Mike's going to show you of the thumbnail that we had, this is me on the left in 2007. So I'd been sick, 15, 16 years there, somewhere around there. Well, no, 20 years there. And so I'm really swollen. You can see I can hardly move. That's how Mike found me coming home from work most days.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
And so now you can see today, that picture on the right was taken just a couple weeks ago. Today I am significantly better. So I'm going to tell you guys what I am doing to get better. All right, today's video is brought to you by our Dining on a Dime cookbooks, Volume 1 and Volume 2. These two go together. 35% off. And we're going to talk a lot about my gluten-free, dairy-free edition today because this actually, This actually has a lot to do with me feeling better. So 35% off both of them today, guys. And so let's get started. Number one, it is not all in your head. Excuse me. It is not all in your head. Yes, there is actually something wrong, but it is noticed that a lot of people with fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome have some sort of trauma that happened to them before they got sick. I mean, I honestly don't know one person that hasn't had some sort of trauma happen. So first of all, usually it's something traumatic. For us, I think it was the stress of being in poverty for, 10 years, 10, 15 years before we got sick. I mean, I was 16 and pretty much my parents were in poverty, I think, the whole time, my entire growing up. And then it was really bad when mom was a single mom. And so I think between that and car accidents and the stress of dealing with families and stuff, it just had weakened our immune system so bad that when we got a virus that came through, our body just could not fight it off. And that's probably why a lot of people who have that thing going around the last 2 years, a lot of them are coming down with chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia. And I think it's probably the same thing. They were really stressed and then they got this virus and then it weakened their immune system. Okay. So yes, there is something that is wrong with you. It's not all in your head. Yes, it is extremely frustrating when doctors don't believe you or doctors say you're too young to have these kinds of illnesses, or I don't know. Oh, you don't look sick. As I actually have a mug of a cow laying upside down with its legs dead saying, no, really, I'm fine. And it was one of my favorite mugs for the longest time because, that's the way you feel. People will say, oh, you don't look sick. But you are. And like when we were dating, Mike didn't never see me really sick, because what I would do is I'd be sick home by myself, and then I'd drug myself up with Alka-Seltzer and painkillers and whatever, go out on dates, and then come home and be right back in bed again. So then when we got married, I was in bed all the time.
I was totally shocked.
And it was a totally shock.
She told me that she was sick, but I thought, oh, well, if this is what that means, then okay. But I didn't understand it was really, really sick. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to start. I'm just going to go through the list now. You guys post your questions that you have for me. I'm going to go through everything first, and then I'm going to answer questions at the end, so that, because a lot of them I will answer as I'm talking. And if I answer them while I'm talking, then I won't answer them again. But go ahead and list your questions, and then Mike will give me the questions and I will answer them if I haven't already answered them. Number one for things that help me. Actually, you know, I say number one, I say 10 things on the list, but there's like 20 things on my list here. So
you'll probably just come up with other ones as you go.
Yeah, so I'll probably just come up with other ones. So, all right. So the first thing is Alka-Seltzer. And you're going to say, Tara, what? Alka-Seltzer? Yes. Just regular Alka-Seltzer has aspirin, citric acid, and sodium bicarbonate, which is baking soda. Okay. And this here, when I am having a flare, or when I accidentally poison myself with a food, accidentally eat something I shouldn't eat, which I'm going to get into foods more here in a minute. If I take this right away, it will perk me up really quickly. Okay. Really quickly. Now, if I've already taken a painkiller, so I don't need more painkillers, I can take an Alka-Seltzer Gold. And this just has potassium bicarbonate and sodium bicarbonate. So if you don't need the pain relief, you can take Alka-Seltzer Gold. Now, Michael put the link on here for you. It is only on Amazon that I can find for the Alka-Seltzer Gold.
Wait, is that the link for gold or regular?
I think it's the link for gold. And the regular Alka-Seltzer, we have found the Kroger brand to be the cheapest. So when they have it in stock, I'll go buy 20 boxes, or if Mike happens to be in that area, he'll buy 20 boxes just to have it on hand. It is really easy to do, but the Alka-Seltzer Gold is only online. I bought, I think, I don't know, it was like a 12 pack of these probably 6 years ago, and I'm still finishing them. I think this is my last box. I'm gonna have to get me some more probably. Actually, it looks like this is my last 4.
So we usually give her the regular, unless you've already taken something.
A painkiller, yeah. Now, so Michael put the link in there for the Alka-Seltzer Gold for you for that. The next thing that I take is pain medications. So I rotate between ibuprofen, aspirin, and Tylenol. And I just rotate. And if I'm having a really, really awful day, I will take aspirin, and then 2 hours later, I'll take ibuprofen, and then rotate every 2 to 4 hours, a different pain reliever. Ask your doctor about that. That's what my doctor told me to do. So that's the directions that I follow for that. Okay. Now, one other thing before I forget, on the Alka-Seltzer, if you don't have Alka-Seltzer and you're having a flare up, you can take like a quarter to a half a cup of water with a half a teaspoon of baking soda, and that will help also. Okay. Now, if I sleep so much better if I take an Alka-Seltzer before bed. I think there's something in the alkalinity of it that helps your body switch back to alkaline instead of acidic. And so I think that is actually what helps. And so if you don't have Alka-Seltzer, you can take a quarter to a half a cup of water with a half a teaspoon of baking soda, not powder, baking soda, and that will help also. Also, drinking orange juice helps me a lot. It's the citric acid in the orange juice that helps me a lot also. Next, about 15 years ago, Georgetown did a study, and they found out that NADH gives people with chronic fatigue syndrome more energy when they take this. Now, it took me about 3 months to get that going. And I forgot to give Mike the link for this, but I do get this off Amazon also.
Oh.
And guys, all of these links are in the description below. They are affiliate links. You do not have to buy them from us, but you can go look at the reviews, click on our link, and you can go look at the reviews. We do get a small kickback if you purchase from us. So thank you for supporting our small business. But we just link them all just so they're easier for you. So I have the NADH with CoQ10, and I've been taking this for, well, actually, yeah, I've been taking this for almost 25 years, actually, because I started this when BJ was a baby, and he's turning 25 in a few weeks. So this one I've been taking almost 25 years, and this gives me more energy. Okay. This gives me more energy. The next thing.
Well, and at the time you started that one, people kept telling us they had something and it was going to cure every disease on the earth and it was going to make her all better. And
yeah.
We got really frustrated. And I got angry because I felt like they were taking advantage of her. And so we were only doing things that we found studies that said that they had some improvement. And that's why we tried it.
All right. The next one also, which I didn't do a link for. I'm sorry. I don't know why I thought I had all these supplements. I thought I did. The next one is fish oil. So I take the omega-3 fish oil, and it has to have the EPA and the DHA in it. And I take 3,000 milligrams. Yep. Michael put the link for the one that's in there. I take a little over 3,000 milligrams a day. This helps with clarity on my brain and pain. Okay. So that's helps with the brain fog and those kinds of things. Then regular vitamin D. I take 10. I take 10,000 milligrams of vitamin D every day. That helps with energy. Okay. And then I take biotin. This helps with my fibromyalgia pain and hair loss.
Are those already in here, or do I need to be looking those up?
No, they're not in there. I totally forgot all the supplements.
Do you want me to look them up as we go?
If you want, that's fine. And the biotin helps with pain and hair loss. I can't imagine. My hair's been falling out like crazy, so I can't imagine what it'd be like if I wasn't taking the biotin. Then the GABA helps me with brain fog and sleeping. This one is one that the doctor said that he thought might help, and it does seem to help for me. And then let's see. I'll talk about the enzymes in a minute. Did you get the GABA? Sorry.
There's another one I missed. Vitamin D or something.
The vitamin D. Yep. Right there. All right. So was not as prepared as I thought I was. Then the next one I take, this one is B12 methylcobalamin. 8,000%. It is how many milligrams? I'm trying.
Oh, sorry.
It is 500 milligrams of just the B12, and then it has several other B vitamins in here. Now, this methylfolate, that is the methylcobalamin, you have to take this when you have the MTHFR gene. Now, I had a genetic test done about 10 years ago. Yes, I was a little on the fence about it, but I was desperate to be making progress with feeling better. They said that they have the MTHFR gene. Now, a majority of people who have chronic fatigue syndrome have the MTHFR gene. And a lot of people who have fibromyalgia have the MTHFR gene. What it is if you have that gene, you do not process your B vitamins correctly. And because of that, you don't have the energy that you need. So you have to take this in the morning to give you the energy you need. And I notice when I don't take it that my energy does go down. It takes about 3 weeks or so for it to kick in. The NADH takes about 3 months to kick in. So if you try this, give it 3 months for it to kick in. Okay.
Is that methylfolate?
And so those are the majority of the supplements and painkillers that I take. Now, I also take, and I forgot to bring it, Knox gelatin. You can get the fancy collagen stuff, but it's just a waste of money. So I just take Knox gelatin, and that helps with pain a lot also. Now, when I first started fighting my fibromyalgia and getting fibromyalgia treatment, I did go to a functional medicine doctor. They found out that I had some infections. So I was on antibiotics for 3 months, and then I was on, I had bacterial infections, and then I had a systemic yeast infection in my whole body. And so I was on antibiotics for 3 months. And then after I was done with the antibiotics, I was on yeast killers for 3 months, like mega doses. And so that was recommended by my doctor. Now, the other things that help that aren't supplements, I just did the supplements first because everybody wants to know what the supplements are. The other things.
For a second? Because there's so many of them, I just I put them in the description on YouTube. I'm unable to update the description on Facebook right now. So if you're on Facebook, if you go to the YouTube site,
can you just copy and paste into a comment form on Facebook? For right now,
like paste a bunch of them in there.
Just paste the whole list in there. The other things that help are, now I know people are just going to yell. They're just going to be really angry about this, but exercise. And you're going to say, I just don't understand. There's just no way I can possibly exercise. I just hurt too much. Let me tell you, you can't not exercise with fibromyalgia. You have to move. You have to do something. Otherwise, your muscles are just going to get worse and worse. And then you're just going to go downhill from there. And one thing that everybody says, well, Tara, how do you do so much with fibromyalgia? I force myself to keep moving. And Mike's going to put this picture up, and we're going to do a video on this, but I make sure that I get dressed every single day.
This picture?
Yep, every single day. And I put this picture up, and holy moly, the ferocious bear was unleashed. It says, remember
the flame
when
was real.
Yeah, it says, remember when we didn't go in public wearing pajamas? Okay, now, the hate that I got from this post is absolutely unbelievable. But let me tell you, I am 100% right. You can call me judgmental. You can call me critical. You can call me whatever name you want. But I am 100% right. I have had this illness for 30, how many years did we say? 4 years, 34 years. And I can tell you that in 34 years, I have left my pajamas on all day, maybe 3 times in 34 years. I have gotten dressed every single day except for 3 days in 34 years.
Actually, let me grab that thumbnail again, because I was pointing out to Tara that thumbnail was not intentionally, but we noticed even here she's dressed. She's laying there looking dead.
But I mean, serious, I'm dressed.
in day
And
clothes.
everybody says, how do you get so much done, Tara? How is it you're able to do so much with fibromyalgia? Okay, so you can go ahead. So first of all, I've decided that my life, I have fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome. But one of my fibromyalgia treatments is getting dressed every single day. And I guarantee you, if you just get dressed every single day, it will totally change. It's the same with anxiety and depression and all the other 25,000 mental illnesses and diseases everybody wants to list as reasons why they can't get dressed. You can get dressed. I literally have had days where I've had to go lay on the couch after I got dressed because I was so exhausted from just getting dressed. I maybe didn't get on my makeup, but I at least got dressed and combed my hair. At least. And it makes a huge difference if you have determined that you may have this illness or illnesses, but it is not going to overtake your life, and it is not your life. Okay? You may have this illness, but that doesn't mean that this illness is going to consume your entire life. And so I know we just lost half our viewers with that statement, but if you actually want to get better, you're going to need to get dressed and comb your hair. And I don't care if all you do is get dressed and then go sit on the couch all day. Well, that's what you're going to do that's what you're going to need to do. Okay.
Well, and we actually went to a support group once, a couple of years after we were married. And it was the most discouraging support group ever because everyone in the group had made their illness their identity. And I think Tara realized that she was going to get sucked into the vortex of feeling bad because everyone was focused on it so much. It doesn't mean that she denied that she was not feeling well, because like that day with the picture on the couch, she would try to do something and then she would end up on the couch, but then she would start to get a little feeling better. And then she would try to get up and do something again, even just for a few minutes. Mm-hmm. And that's the difference between that and making it your identity, where it's all about, what you can't do.
All right. Post your questions, guys. And I'm going to try and make sure I get everything. I will answer your questions at the end if I don't answer them beforehand. Okay. But let me get through my whole list first. The next thing is sleep. Sleep is imperative. You are not going to ever start feeling better until you get sleep. So you need to figure out what you need to do for sleep. I hurt so bad that I could not sleep in a bed for probably the first 15, 20 years we were married. I slept on the couch. So what I would do is, couches like this, I would put my spine in the center because it was my hips and my shoulders that hurt the worst. So I would put my spine in the corner of the couch and I would sleep diagonally on the couch for probably 20 years to relieve the pain at night. Now I'm not in so much pain and I can sleep in our regular bed. We have a memory foam mattress that helps, but sleep is imperative. Along with that was after I had kids, I made sure that my kids went to bed early. So when they were 5 years old or younger, they went to bed at 6 o'clock. 5 years to about 8, 9 years, somewhere around there, they went to bed at 7 o'clock. I know a lot of people are going to have a problem with that, but
they didn't mind it at all.
Yeah, the kids didn't mind. 8 to about 10 or 12, then 8 to about 8 to 10. Then they would go to bed at 8 o'clock. And then when they hit middle school, they were allowed to stay up till 8:30. And then about 8th grade, 8th, 9th grade, then they were allowed to stay up till 9 o'clock. And then in high school, they were able to stay up till 10 o'clock. Now, even when they were littler and they didn't need naps anymore, so let's say 7, 8 years old and younger, I would make them take a nap. And they would have to go in and sleep if they were like 5 or younger. And then between 5 and about 8 or 9 years old, they would have to go into their room during the day for an hour to an hour and a half and read or color or play quietly, because I was just frankly too worn out and I could not keep going if I didn't have a period of rest with them away from me. Okay. So I made them go to their room and play quietly. When they got older, and if the bedtime was too early and they weren't quite sleepy enough, then I would make them go into their bed and read or color quietly for a half an hour before it was time to go to sleep, because I just physically couldn't do it anymore. By the time 7 o'clock came around, I just could not keep going. And so that's one of the ways I dealt with sleep and with the kids. I have tried all the sleep medications. I've tried melatonin. I've tried Benadryl. NyQuil Z seems to work really well. The NyQuil sleep aid with the alcohol. You have to get the name brand with the alcohol. Really helps a lot. But I do notice that after I take it for about 4 or 5 days, then it doesn't work anymore. So I can only take that on days like if we go out of town and we're going to be in a motel, I'll take it then. If I've had a particularly stressful day, like when our child was attacked and that was really bothering me, I will take it like that. And so I'll take it on times like that so I can make sure I get some sleep. Right now, the GABA is what helps me sleep, but also my diet helps me sleep. And I'm going to talk about diet here in just a minute as one of the big things that really help. The next thing that helps is baths. So some people, it just depends. Just do what you can. Some people with fibromyalgia, for a fibromyalgia treatment, they will take a bath every night. Other people, they can't handle that. And so they can only take a shower. It's just kind of whatever works for you. For me, I take a bath every single night, almost every single night that I can. It helps relax my muscles. It helps calm my nervous system down. And so then I sleep better when I take a bath. So if I don't take a bath at night, usually I try to go to bed, and I'll tell you, I'll be up like at 11 o'clock, then getting in the bathtub because I'm hurting so bad and I can't sleep. The next thing that helps is massage. So I have very fortunate. I have a wonderful husband.
Oh, thank you.
That will massage me frequently. We will go, sit down and watch a movie, and he will rub my legs or my back or my hips or my neck and shoulders, whatever is hurting at that time. He will massage it for me, and he'll massage me 3 or 4 times a week. Now, I'm not quite so bad now as I used to be, but it used to be he was massaging me at least 3 to 4 times a week for an hour to an hour and a half each time.
She can't take too much. So what she'll do is say, today, oh, I really need my arms, or I really need my neck, or my hip, or whatever. And usually it's mostly there until that's feeling better, and then something else. And that's why we kind of break it up through the week.
Yeah. And it will sometimes, I'll have him rub me really hard. And I mean, it hurts. It really, really hurts. But the harder he can rub me, the more deep tissue he can get. It breaks up those muscles and helps me feel a whole lot better. It releases whatever the lactic acid in those muscles that's built up and gets it out. Now, I do have to make sure that after I have a massage that I drink plenty of water. You need to drink at least a full cup, if not 2 cups of water after you get a massage, because that stuff will get trapped in your body. And then you get really sick because all those toxins have gotten into your body, and then you get really sick. So I always make sure he always gives me a cup of water after I'm done so I can sleep and I don't get super sick. Now, we haven't, since we've been here in Sheridan, and I'm just so terrified because we had such a wonderful massage lady in Colorado. After we started making more money, I did go once a week and get a massage with a professional lady, and Sam, she was the best in the whole wide world. We miss Sam.
Yes.
And maybe Sam could come and live up here, and we'll exchange our apartment, rent in our apartment for massages maybe. And Sam, she was the best. And so for me, deep tissue really, really helps. Now, being here in Sheridan, I haven't tried any massage people yet, and I need to just be brave and go. But Sam was so great. I just hate to start trying people, but I need to. So that we got this massage gun, and this thing here is a lifesaver. Now, I used to have the Walmart version of it. No, the gun. Used to have a Walmart version of it. Okay. Now, while Mike's getting that link,
I might just tell all of you that I've been trying to add them. We have a thing on our website at livingonadime.com called show notes, and up in the upper links, there's a thing that says video, and if you click that, show notes is one of the ones that drops down. And I put all of the links in there if you can't get to them in the description where you're watching.
Yeah, and real quick while he's getting the massage gun up, our cookbooks are 35% off right now, guys. We're having our cookbook sale 35% off right now, volume 1, volume 2. And then our gluten-free, dairy-free, I'm going to get to in just a minute because that's actually a big portion of my fibromyalgia treatment. Now, this massage gun is my best friend now. So, I've had different forms of massage guns to help relieve my pain. I've had a full back massager. Michael put a link in for that. You sit on a chair and it rollers up and down your back and your shoulders.
This one?
Yep. And that helps a lot. Really, really like that one. The other thing that I have had is a massage tool. He'll get the link for that also. And that helps you rub deeper into the knots in the tissue without hurting your thumbs so much. And so as a matter of fact, I'm at the point now where I'm getting arthritis in my thumbs. And I think part of it is from massaging my arms and my feet so much and my jaw, that the massage tool really helps with that. Then the neck massager, if you have a lot of tension in your neck, Michael put the link in for that. I have all of these things, guys. I know I've collected them over the last 20 years, but these are all the things that I use on a regular basis. And they're all links in the description below.
I didn't realize you had so many things.
The neck massager, I can just sit in the chair and it'll just do my neck and my shoulders right here. And that will help relieve a lot of that tension. Now, this bad boy here, this massage gun really can beat your muscles into submission, okay? So you can't hold it on your knot for more than 20 to 30 seconds or you'll start bruising yourself. So you have to be careful. But what I do is when I find a spot that's extremely painful, I will just hold it on there and just suck it up. So like the inside of my arm here, and I'm telling you, it makes you want to throw up. I'm not going to tell you it's easy, but if you can stand to hold it there for the 20 seconds, you will notice that the pain will start releasing and you will feel so much better. Okay. Now, the neuromuscular massage from if you can find a neuromuscular massage therapist, that is the best massage that I've ever had. And they are more than just a foofy massage. They actually work the muscles a particular way to help release those trigger points. And when we had Raymond in Boulder, Colorado, we miss Raymond. We love Raymond. Raymond was the best. He could find those trigger points and really release them, like in my jaw and my shoulders and my neck and stuff. And so
he was very peculiar, but it worked. He did amazing work.
He's an interesting fellow, but we love Raymond. And so the neuromuscular massage, if you can go find a massage therapist, a neuromuscular massage is the best way to go with that. Then a heating pad, Mike will put in there the full, the neck and shoulders heating pad is the one that I like the best. And that's the one on there. And that wraps around your shoulders and your neck right in here on the back. And I will sit on that when I'm hurting particularly bad one day. Okay. Now all these links are in our Amazon. They go to Amazon, so you can go see the reviews. You can see if this is something that might work for you. Yes, we get a small affiliate commission for it, but you don't have to buy them from our Amazon store. It just helps us out if you do, but it's not like a major thing. But I want you to go look at the reviews, because a lot of people give tips and tricks for dealing with fibromyalgia treatment in the comments. So a lot of those reviews and comments really help give you other ideas. Now, the next thing is plantar fasciitis that goes with fibromyalgia. Now, for those of you with plantar fasciitis, you will know what I'm talking about. It's where your foot starts seizing up and your muscles get extremely tight, and it's like walking on knives. You just feel like your feet are walking on knives. And it did get to the point where it was so bad that I honestly thought I was going to be wheelchair bound about 6 or 7 years ago. It was bad. I mean, it was really, really bad. And so I was desperate, because I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. But I knew that it was from a tight calf muscle. So what I did was I got, at the time I got Telix shoes. Now Mike's going to put a link in for another brand of shoes that I actually like better, because they changed the Telix, and this isn't, it's the clog that's better now. They changed the design of the Telix, and I don't like those as much anymore. But these new clogs, they are like the old Telix used to be. So I got a pair of these, and it took the cushion up, and then I got the massage gun, and I didn't have the heavy duty massage gun. I just had the cheapy Walmart one. So that one, you don't have to be as careful to hold it for just a few seconds. But I would sit with the cheapy massage gun from Walmart, and I would watch a YouTube video, and I would just run it up and down my calf and the bottom of my feet and around my ankle for an hour, morning and night. And I did that for 2 weeks, and my plantar fasciitis was totally gone. I mean, it was a miracle. It was an absolute miracle. And so now, and I mean, it hurt like the dickens. I'm not going to tell you guys it's not going to hurt, but you can take a painkiller before. So take like 800 milligrams before, whatever your painkiller is. Take a painkiller before. You can also ice it before, and you can heat it before. So the ice brings down the inflammation, and the heat relaxes the muscle. So it's already pre-relaxed. And then take your massage gun and run it up and down your calf and around your ankle and on your foot. And that, if you continually do that every single day, you will get rid of your plantar fasciitis. I guarantee it. You will. Every person that I've told to do this has just been like, Tara, I cannot believe that was an absolute miracle. And now, just 2 weeks ago, my plantar fasciitis started coming back again, because I haven't been getting as many massages as I used to, because we don't have Sam, my massage therapist, anymore. She was just lovely. I just loved Sam. And I haven't been having Mike rub my calves as much, just because I wasn't thinking about it. And my plantar fasciitis came back. So ran this for 20 seconds, and I would find the spot that hurt the most. If you touch it if you're running the massage gun on it and you feel like you're going to throw up, that's the spot. And just hold it there and just take in deep breaths. Let off if you need to and put it back on there and keep going back and forth. But hold it for the full 20 or 30 seconds on each spot of your leg and foot. In 1 week, my plantar fasciitis was totally gone again. Totally gone. I don't even notice it. It's not even a problem anymore. 1 week, it was gone. So this is like the best thing ever. I absolutely love it. Use it every single day almost. Now, The other thing that I have an issue with is teeth grinding or clenching, teeth clenching. Because I'm in pain so much, I'm clenching my teeth. I've been clenching my teeth for 30 plus years. Okay. So one thing that can help with that is to get a mouth guard. Michael put a link in for that. We have a mouth guard. Now, the mouth guard didn't help me a lot, but I included it because it helps a lot of people. And I hear a lot of people that are clenching say that it really helps. So I included that because it really helps a lot of people. The other thing is ice packs. Michael put a link in for an ice pack that is a bigger ice pack that you can strap on and hold it on there. And then just a regular ice pack for your neck. But those ice packs, yeah, I hate ice. I really, really hate ice, but it does help. So like when my plantar fasciitis was horrible and I could hardly walk, we decided to go to Estes Park to Colorado to walk around one day. We used to live there. And I put my feet in the glacier, melted river. So it came off the mountain and was a glacier, you know, like 30 minutes before. And what convinced me on the ice was my feet were hurting so bad. I thought Mike was going to have to carry me back to the car. I hadn't even gone that far. And I was like, I can't do this. I don't know what I'm going to do. So we sat down by the river. I put my feet into the icy cold water. And after about it was just 2 or 3 minutes. I hardly had it in there anytime at all. It helped so much. I could finish walking back to the car. So after that, I was totally convinced, yes, the doctors know what they're talking about. Even though the ice hurts, there's a reason why they say use the ice, because it brings the inflammation down and helps it not be so bad. Okay.
One quick thing. When Tara's done, I'm getting all the questions and comments. And as soon as Tara's done kind of going through what she's talking about, then we'll answer all your questions.
Yeah. Now, I know this is a huge, huge, huge long list of stuff, guys. I totally get it. When I started my fibromyalgia treatment, we had 4 kids and we were making $30,000 a year. And it was really hard. So I just started with one thing and just started working my way through. Some of these things I asked for birthdays and Christmases. Some of these things were given to us for, well, you know, like garage sales, not given to us, but like I got them at garage sales or things like that. So like the massage, the neck massage and all that. Some of these I found at garage sales, thrift stores, stuff like that. So don't get overwhelmed with all of these things, okay? The next thing then the one thing I forgot to say, and I don't have it here, is magnesium malate is what helps me sleep also and relaxes my muscles. It is known that the magnesium, for whatever reason, really, really helps. And so Michael put a link in for that. It does help me sleep, and I sleep like so much better when I take the magnesium. I take it every night. I take 4 tablets of so let's see. So I take 3,750. So 3,750 milligrams is how many I take a day.
That's a serving size 6 capsules is 3,750.
Oh.
So you only take 2.
So I take 4. I take 4. So I take about 2,000 milligrams. Okay. Now, how you'll know is if you're taking too much magnesium is if you start having diarrhea. So if you start having diarrhea, then just start cutting back 1 pill a day until you stop having diarrhea. And then that's the amount of magnesium that you need. All right. Now, guys, Dining on a Dime cookbooks, 35% off. Right now, we're having our sale. And it ends tomorrow. So catch our Dining on a Dime cookbooks. This is volume 1. If you can only get one, get this. This is volume 2. They go together. And this is my gluten-free, dairy-free edition, which we're getting ready to talk about in just a moment. The other 2 things that have helped a lot are I got a Bowflex. So I got one for free from my neighbor. And that really helped with the exercise. Now, I know this is super expensive. I totally get it. But we see them all the time. Michael put the link for it in there for you. But we see Bowflexes on Facebook Marketplace, garage sales all the time. So don't let that be an excuse.
A lot of people buy them and don't use them.
You don't have to have this. You can just do exercises, you know, just against the wall, in your chair with free weights, whatever. But I personally like the Bowflex. And so I do use that. We were given ours free from a neighbor who was moving. And so after I got that, I really liked it. The other thing is CBT therapy. And you can go look that up. Michael put the link for that also. And you can put the link up for that. Now, let's see. Put in the comments, guys, if you have things that help your fibromyalgia treatment, put in the comments what helps you, because a lot of this stuff is not from doctors. This is not doctor recommendation or anything. A lot of this stuff is from other people experimenting and them saying, guess what, Tara, this worked a lot better than this. Like the shoes that I got, I love my squishy shoes. They just make my feet sing with happiness. And and so I'll, you know, comment and let people know. Now, the next thing that heat and humidity always make me a lot more sick. Now, some people with fibromyalgia, they prefer to be in the heat and humidity, and that's fine if that helps you. You have to just figure out what helps you. But for me, heat and humidity makes me a whole lot worse. And I think it makes my chronic fatigue syndrome worse than my fibromyalgia. And so that's why we live in a really cool climate. That's why we only lived in Texas for 6 months. There's no way I would ever go back to the South again. No offense to our friends Goalie and Fareed that are trying to get us to move to Florida. But the heat and humidity do make me really, really sick. So anything over 80 degrees, even if it's just an outside temperature, if the house gets over 80, if the outside it gets over 80, I can't handle it and I get really sick. I do not like summer at all, which is kind of ironic since I'm a huge gardener. But I don't like summer. I'll take fall and winter any day over summer. And so that's another thing. So if you're in a climate that makes you sick, you might see if moving to a better climate might help. All right, now let's get to food and brain fog. So brain fog is a major issue. I will say that when I found out I had the MTHFR gene and I started taking the B12, that did help my brain fog. But the thing that helps my brain fog the most is my diet. And I have been gluten-free, dairy-free since 2007. So if you go back to the picture, Mike will show you real quick, on our thumbnail, this is what I looked like. Now, I can tell you right now, the reason why I looked like that was because of the food that I was eating. I was basically poisoning myself every time I put food into my mouth. Okay. And that was what was making my fibromyalgia and my chronic fatigue syndrome worse. Now, I am not going to tell you that my brain fog is all gone. It is not. But Mike will show you what happened last Christmas.
Oh.
When I was wrapping presents and we had all the kids over and I was really tired and it was a very long day and I had not stayed on my diet. This was the gift that we pulled out from under the tree that I had wrapped. Does anyone see a problem with this? So the kids were pulling out the presents, dividing them up to who they go to. And they're like, Mom, who does this go to? Well, it was supposed to say to David from Mom and Dad. Okay.
Oh, that was to David. I thought that was mine. And you just.
It was supposed to say to David from Mom and Dad.
I see.
and I wasn't thinking. And so that's what I wrote. Now, like doing the shows where I'm talking for a really long time, I can already feel myself going down, and I'm sure you can already see that my eyes are starting to get a little glazed over. When I talk for a long time, when I hear noise for a long time, like the barking dogs at the old house, it physically made me ill listening to the neighbor's dog barking for 12 hours a day. It physically made me ill. If Mike is talking to me for a really long time, I will start getting really sick. If the kids are all talking and I'm trying to listen to something or whatever, I will start getting really sick. So the brain fog portion of it, I would say even more than the pain, is the most frustrating thing for me. Now, I have not totally cured that, but what has made it better is by going on a gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free diet. Okay. Now, our gluten-free, dairy-free cookbook is not sugar-free, but I think pretty much every recipe you could just use a sugar substitute if you want instead for the baked goods and stuff like that. And it should work. I think they should work. I'm trying to think of any recipe that it wouldn't work in, but I think it should work. Now, 35% off right now. Guys, we tested these recipes and even my normal family will eat them. Now, I will tell you, when I went gluten-free, dairy-free, and sugar-free, that, and actually corn and caffeine, when I can stick to that diet, well, not 100%, but I'm like 70% better than when I don't. And I don't look like this picture again. When I start eating gluten and dairy, the picture on the left is what I start looking like again. I start swelling. I can't think straight. I feel like I'm going to throw up. I hurt horridly. That's what I look like. Okay.
Although I do have to say, after years of kind of trying something and figuring out this is working and then finding out something else is working and kind of continuing to do that, she doesn't drop back as far back as she used to be.
No.
So like she does swell and feel bad and get brain fog, but it's not like in the past. There was a time that she was driving somewhere and
I forgot I was driving.
Forgot she was driving and then pulled the car over and couldn't remember where she was going or even where
and I almost wrecked because I forgot I was driving and I drove up on the sidewalk. And thankfully there was nobody around. But I totally forgot I was driving and I just drove up on the sidewalk.
So she's come a
long way.
A long way. Like she's still sick, but it's under control a lot more.
Yeah.
So when she does slip on a food item or something like that, she feels really bad for a day or two, but it's not like it used to be where she's completely not able to function at all.
Yeah. All right. Now, another thing with the food was we found out I don't have any enzymes to digest my food. And a lot of people don't, and they don't realize it. Now, I actually had a test to find out that I didn't have enzymes, but I do take enzymes to help digest my food also, the food that I do have. Now, I know that being on that kind of a diet is not fun. I totally get it. I mean, I'm right there with you. A cheesecake is just, I'm sitting here looking at the shelf with all the chocolate chips and cheesecake ingredients and frosting ingredients for our cooking videos that we have coming up. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that sounds so good. I'm not going to lie, but you can make like cheesecake with gluten-free, homemade, like you can make a gluten-free, dairy-free cheesecake. And I know it sounds a little strange, but you can make homemade graham crackers and then you can use goat cheese. And it actually is really, really close. The sandwich bread in here is like to die for. It is the best sandwich bread ever. And
She actually wrote this book. She don't want to write books for specialty diets just because we just can't write them for so many specialty diets.
Yeah.
But people kept asking for gluten-free, and she was thinking, well, I have to do it anyway, so I might as well.
Yeah. And what I did was I was just using the recipes out of our Dining on a Dime. And I was like, just use the recipes in Dining on a Dime and adapt it. And people are like, well, I just don't know what to do. Okay. So I wrote the book. So I got the book now. It's 35% off, guys. Go get it. It's 35% off.
But a lot of the baking recipes ended up being different recipes because you had to put you had to mix, like, I forgot what it's called, the stuff that's in gum.
Oh, the xanthan gum?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so when I went gluten-free and then when I went dairy-free, each of these times that I did this, it helped, let's see, it helped do a little bit better each time. Okay. And so each little thing helped make me feel a little bit better to where now I am probably 75% better than I was ever before. Okay. And so, all right, let me see. So, and because I know there's going to be a lot of people who, here we go, right here. I'm going to share this link with Mike just a second, because I know there's going to be a lot of people, and I totally get it. You know, a lot of you are on disability. I've been on disability. I lived on $300 a month. I totally get it. It stinks. You can't always afford everything. So I just created a coupon code for the ebook version. I just mailed it to Mike. He'll share the link for you to have the ebook version for free to see if it's something that you want, or if you can't afford it, you can use the recipes in here. Okay. Now, diet is like super, super, super important. Now, I'm getting ready to revise my diet a little bit more, and I'm going to cut out the grains. I'm not cutting out the carbs. I'm cutting out grains. And I'm going to try fruits, vegetables, fats, and meat. Fruit, vegetables, fats, meat. And see if I feel better also.
Did you want to tell them what the code is for that?
Michael put the link in there. The discount code is GFDF. Okay. So if you go to our gluten-free, dairy-free ebook, the digital download, the ebook, go to the very end, guys. You have to go to the very end of the checkout, put in your code, and then hit apply, and then it will work. Okay. It will work. If you see money being charged there, you did not apply it in the right spot. It doesn't go in the notes. It goes into the coupon discount code. Okay. But diet really, really helped bring my inflammation down and really helped with my pain. Now, I know that's really long, and I don't want you to get overwhelmed. My tips are to just get started with something. Okay. When I went gluten-free, dairy-free, my grocery bill did not go up. It does not have to be hard. When you think about it, you don't need to be eating cakes and pies and all that stuff anyway, especially if you're cutting out the sugar. And so you can get rice. You can make rice and beans. You can make rice with chicken. You can make Mexican rice. I use goat cheese instead of regular cheese. They have gluten-free pastas. They have all kinds of gluten-free pastas. Now, going off tomatoes, potatoes, peppers, and onions also helps. The nightshade family, if you guys look up a fibromyalgia diet, that also helps. Now, I know this is overwhelming, but I'm just saying, just start with one thing and just start working your way. I've been doing this for 20 years for my fibromyalgia treatment. So I've just been working my way up.
One thing about the overwhelming is this video will stay on YouTube and Facebook. So if you miss a detail, you can go back and watch it again. So don't feel overwhelmed if you don't catch all the information she's saying.
And all the links are in the description below. so that you can go back and look at all the links that I've done. Okay. So now I think we're going to go ahead and go with comments and questions. I think I've hit everything that I do. Also, another thing, stress is another big contributor. Okay. So as much as you can keep your stress down, that also helps. So I know that's not always easy. I honestly can't say that I've had a day in my life that I ever remember not being stressed out. Well, actually, I do, believe it or not. The only time I can remember not being stressed out was when my daughter was in the hospital in NICU after she was born. That 10 days or 2 weeks, however long it was in the hospital, when my daughter was at the hospital, that was the only time I have never been stressed. I know that sounds crazy, but I didn't have anything to do at home. Mom was watching our son for a few days and then he came, but still it was not as hard to watch him at the hospital because we could let him run around in the, waiting room and stuff. And all our meals were taken care of. We didn't have to worry about cleaning anything. And so that I really got some good rest. And so if you can get some stress gone and some rest, that really, really helps. All right.
Because everybody has fibro here, I went ahead and put the code in the description.
Yes, Mike put the code in the description for you guys for the cookbook. Now, the print version is 35% off right now. It ends tomorrow, but it is 35% off right now. So you have time to download the free ebook and then go see if it's what you want and then order the print book if you want later. So, okay, let us go for questions.
I sent them to you.
Michael sent them to me. All right, here we go. So send your questions in, guys, if I didn't answer it. If I've already answered the question, then I'm going to tell you to go back and watch because I can't read. I'm not going to re-say everything that I've already said. Okay. Let's see.
Yes, we've had a couple questions if we're still doing a show on Wednesday. Yes, we are.
Yes. Wednesday, we are doing a Bible show because we have had a lot of people ask for Bible questions. So store up your Bible questions if you have them, and we will answer them on Wednesday. Donna Miller, you look fabulous. What you are doing is working. Thank you. I am not cured, but the fibromyalgia treatment that I'm doing right now has really helped significantly. I have gone from being completely bedridden to basically tired a lot. And in pain a lot, but not the pain that I was in, okay? I mean, it's nothing compared to what I was. How long did you suffer before the doctor gave you a diagnosis? So thankfully for us, when chronic fatigue syndrome first was noticed and recognized, that was in the late 80s. I think it was like 1986. And we got diagnosed in 1988. So it was just 2 years that we were diagnosed. Tina, most people with CFS also suffer from migraines. So let me talk about my migraines briefly. I forgot to talk about that. Because I was clenching so bad from pain, I had major TMJ jaw issues, and I've had treatment after treatment after treatment. I finally, and this has just been the last 2 weeks, have gotten to where I'm stretching my jaw and I'm massaging all the way up in here. I massage this muscle right here. You can feel it on your skull and down back through my ear. And I go down here and I go up here. And then I do up here. I used to get shots in the front of my neck to relax these muscles. And that actually really helped a lot. I had to go to ear, nose, and throat doctor, and he did give me shots and it really helped. But, I kind of hated doing that. Well, just the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've been stretching my jaw by opening it and counting to 30. So I just go like this. I just go. And I open it as far as I can and then just release it slightly so it's not just extremely painful. And I've been doing that for 2 weeks. And I noticed I haven't had to take a painkiller first thing in the morning when I wake up. So I think it is actually finally starting to get my TMJ under control, stretching my jaw. And it's done so much that I actually measured my jaw, and I'm able to open my jaw a full 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch wider just by stretching it. I think my jaw muscles have been so tight that I didn't even realize how tight they have been. And that has been helping with my migraines. But the migraines, more than anything, is dairy. If you're having migraines, cut out the dairy. And within 3 or 4 days, I noticed my migraines were totally gone. I used to have a migraine pretty much all the time. I've had headaches for 34 years that never stopped. And I still have headaches now, but they're not near as bad. And I don't have to always take a painkiller all the time either. Bonnie says, yes, the Alka-Seltzer has helped. It has, isn't it? Yeah. And so does Grandma's Homemade. And SLH, thank you for liking my top. I got it at a garage sale for $5. Pat, what about if you take prescription meds already, but still in a flare? Do you still take the Alka-Seltzer? So if you can't take aspirin, don't take the regular Alka-Seltzer, and ask your doctor, but I'm pretty sure you can take the Alka-Seltzer Gold or the baking soda and water if you want. Ask your doctor. Now, I will say I tried all the prescription medicines. Lyrica, Cymbalta, all the antidepressants, I've tried gabapentin, all of them. I stopped all the prescriptions because the side effects were just too bad that it wasn't worth. I did not get enough pain relief that it was worth the side effects.
You're talking about from the meds?
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially the antidepressant type meds.
Yeah.
She would tend to be a crazy person when she was on them. So yeah.
Hair sheds and cycles. No, this is something wrong with my hair. I don't know if it's from having that thing going around or what, but my hair's been really shedding. This just isn't a cyclical thing. Rachel, how do these things affect diabetes and NAFLD? I have no idea. You'd have to research that. Okay. Bonnie wants to know, is book Dining on a Dime Volume 1 different from Volume 2? Yes, they're totally different books, all different recipes in both books, but they can go together. We just couldn't put all the recipes in one book. All right, Linda, I answered on the brain fog, so you can go back and watch that if you type that after I talked about it. Is fibromyalgia considered an autoimmune disorder? Yes, it is considered an autoimmune disorder. How do you know if you have the genes for CFS, Karen? So if you have the MTHFR gene, you just have to take a genetic test. And I just did that online. And it told me, I think it was 23andMe that I did. And it told me that I had it. And I don't know, might go to Amazon real quick and see is the genetic test on there. Just type in genetic test and see. Let's see. Yeah, the 23andMe. Michael put a link in there for you right there.
What's this premium membership or something? Is that the one you want?
Yeah, it doesn't probably matter. That one's fine.
Okay. Oh wait, that's his plus industry service.
Yeah, that's fine.
The one you want?
Yeah,
okay.
That's the one I had.
Sorry.
It was $129, and then Michael put the link in there on the one that I did, and then it told me that I had the MTHFR gene. Yeah, MTHFR, Monday, Thursday, Friday, MTHFR. And this was from another person that I had just been talking to, and she said, have you heard about the MTHFR gene? This was like 10 years ago. And I'm like, no, I haven't. What? And so she told me about it. And then I found out that that's partly of what I had. Greatest Ever says, walking is my exercise of choice. Foam helps loosen muscles too. Yes, that's a very good idea. Amazing Grace, we keep pushing ourselves to do things. It's rough, but we keep going. Yes, I have to keep pushing myself. If I didn't keep pushing myself, then I would be a vegetable, and I refuse to be a vegetable. This is a choice. You do have a choice. You can say you don't have a choice, but you have a choice. You have a choice to lay in bed and whine and moan about how sick you are and how depressed you are and how anxious you are. Or you have a choice to get up during commercials, get dressed. The next commercial, go load the dishwasher. The next commercial, go throw a load of laundry in. You have a choice. And that's how I did things for years. I would watch TV all day long, and each commercial, I would get up and go do something. This was before we had streaming services and all of that. So literally every 15 minutes, I would get up for 2 minutes and do something. That's how I got stuff done. But I kept doing it. And it is a choice. And you can do it if you want to do it. And I did. And you can see from this picture, Michael put it back up here once again, the difference between 2007 and 2022. And I'm not saying it's an easy process. It wasn't an easy process. It's been a very long process. But I'm finally to the point where I feel like I'm mostly dead. Or I'm mostly alive instead of mostly dead. I'll have, I'm semi-dead days, but I'm still mostly alive instead of mostly dead, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay.
We used to always make that joke, and because that was your favorite movie, right?
Yes. Okay. Now, Marilyn says, Jordan Peterson says, make your bed. So I will tell you, these are the things that I do every single day. It does not matter. I will make my bed. I will get dressed. I will comb my hair at least. I will at least comb my hair. Make my bed, put on my shoes, comb my hair, do the dishes, do one type of cleaning. And if I don't get anything else done all day long, at least I got those things done. But I had to have something that I did every single day. And then I try to do something like work in the garden or do a small painting project or whatever. Work on those things also. Stephen, the same from working at home. Getting dressed changes the mode you are in. Yes, it totally does. Guys, if you don't do anything at all, get dressed. I'm serious. You will be shocked at the change in your attitude if you just put on clothes and stop staying in your pajamas all day long. Nancy says, Mama had fibromyalgia. Nurse told her to stretch right after getting out of bed to limber her body. Except when she was in her 80s and super sick, she always dressed. She still dressed most days. Yes, exactly. And I'm not saying if you're super, super sick, but even when I was on bed rest with all 4 of my pregnancies, I got dressed every single day. I was not about to go to the hospital in my pajamas. I wasn't. And so I'm not saying that if you need to go to the hospital in your pajamas, that you're wrong. If you're having a heart attack and you're in your pajamas, get your butt to the hospital. Don't go get dressed. Use your brain. These people who sit here and say, well, you're just being judgmental. No, you are being convicted of what you are doing wrong. And you're just sitting there whining about all your 25 illnesses instead of doing something about it. So get up and get dressed, and that will help like a lot of the mental problems that you're having with this illness. And I totally get it. I know what it's like. People are like, well, you've never been depressed. Let me tell you, I've been depressed more in my life than I have not been depressed. And I can honestly say, I don't know that I've ever been happy. I don't know what happy means. And so I totally get it. There are days I have to consciously decide, because I'm hurting so bad and in so much pain, that I have to consciously decide to go ahead and speed up and not let that semi-truck that pulled out in front of me that shouldn't have hit me. I get it. I absolutely get it. And I also get that these things help. Getting dressed helps. Changing your diet helps. Getting dressed and changing your diet is basically free. It's basically free. So it's just whether or not you want to do it. And I know this is Tara's Tough Love. Ooh, I feel a bucket. I feel a series coming on. Tara's Tough Love. But, you got to have a wake-up call. Do you want to be miserable the rest of your life, or do you want to have some sort of a life? Okay, you can. Oh, my, we have lots of questions. Okay, sorry for the lecture. I'm going to get back. Peggy says the best investment ever was my adjustable bed. Before was in a recliner. Yes, I have slept in a recliner also, and that helped a lot. All right, let's see. I don't have lack of energy, just lack of pain. I'm telling you, change your diet, and I really think, Sharon, that will probably help you. I mean, I can't guarantee it, but you will. I was shocked People had told me for years to change my diet. And I'm like, no, I don't want to. I like my blueberry cheesecake. But it does help. Okay. It really does. Do I have vertigo with my fibromyalgia? Yes, occasionally. And what did I do? I did something and it got rid of my vertigo. And I can't remember what it was now. Shoot. What was it? And it wasn't that long ago. It was just like 6 or 9 months ago. Well, for me, it was part of it was losing 20 pounds, 25 pounds. That helped with part of it. I get bad knots under my shoulder blades. Any tips? So for that, I sat on the full back massager, or Mike will massage that for me. All right. Kelly says, I was diagnosed with autoimmune disease and not pinpointed which yet. I do have joint pain in the hips and I've decided to push myself to start walking 3 miles a day. Yeah. So don't start at 3 miles. Start at walking to the front door if you have to, and then start walking to the mailbox, and then start walking a half a block, and then the next week, go for a full block. And then the next week after that, go for 2 blocks. You have to build yourself up with these things. Stacia, putting on a bit of makeup makes me feel better too. Yes, I will tell you that you really need to be putting on makeup also, but I also understand that for 10 years, I could not put on makeup because I was just too sick. So I totally get it, but getting dressed will totally make a difference. Let's see. I took a low-dose amitriptyline for years. I went from thinking I'd have to give up my career as a nurse to running a half marathon. My maintenance now is at home with Pilates and no medication. Yeah, the exercise definitely helps. I was on amitriptyline. I gained 50 pounds in 3 months to the point where my skin could not keep up with the fat, and I was bleeding because my skin was splitting open and so thin from the fast weight gain on amitriptyline. I think that stuff is from Satan, but other people think it's a miracle. So you'll just have to decide with your doctor if that's for you or not. Stacia, yes, shirt tags. I can't stand anything scratchy. I have to be really careful with the kind of bra I wear because I can't stand it if it doesn't just sit perfectly right. All those kinds of things really irritate me. Oh, Music Mad. Hello. The plantar fasciitis is so bad for me. It starts in my feet and works its way up to the calves. Excruciating. Yes. Massage your calves. If you can't get a massage gun, Liz, if you can't get a massage gun, then, I mean, I'm sure Australia has, or New Zealand. I can't remember. I think you're New Zealand.
Yeah.
I'm sure New Zealand has massage guns too, but get like a golf ball and gently roll it up and down your leg, or just use your thumbs and massage your leg. You can, like roll it on a golf ball or a tennis ball laying on the floor type thing also. Let's see. TENS machine, Patricia says helps her. Yes, TENS. I have done TENS. That helps also. Cortisone shots don't help anymore. Yeah, they helped. They sort of helped me with my plantar fasciitis once. And after I read what cortisone does, I didn't want to do it anymore. So, but do it if it helps you. When he says stretching your calf muscles, yes, it's getting those calf muscles loose that you need to do. 3-card Monty says losing 150 pounds cured my plantar fasciitis. I cut out all the bread, potatoes, pasta, sugar, seeds, oils, refined starches, went from 321 pounds to 170 pounds. I'm telling you guys, if you are fat and overweight, that is going to contribute a lot to your pain. A lot. Just losing 25 pounds this year has helped me significantly. And every time I do this, I know I have problems with my weight. I've always had problems with my weight since I was a teenager. I totally get it. But, yeah, it's going to help. So, studio, some long number. Just called a therapist in somewhere and they do that neuromuscular massage. Didn't even know it was a thing. Yeah. But you might try different ones. If one doesn't bring you relief, you might try another one because they do some of them do it differently, and it doesn't always all work the same. So if one doesn't work, don't give up. Try another one. Cindy, yep. And fist clenching. Yeah, I have to really work hard to try and relax my muscles. I can say I don't know that I have ever been relaxed except when our daughter was in the hospital, and that's part of my problem. Sheila, the muscle spasms. Yes, I did the massage, and that also helped. I had restless leg syndrome to the point where I could not sleep when we were first married. It was awful. And that helped. Studio, what do you do for grinding? A mouth guard that we talked about earlier, that will work. Squeaky says, everything you're saying is what the doctor said to me starting getting sick at 30. I have rheumatoid arthritis and chronic fatigue syndrome. Thank you for talking about this. You're welcome. Mike, you're a rock star.
Aw, thank you.
Okay. Greatest ever says, I learned to stop bad behaviors and start good ones. No TV, limited tech, increase water, sleep more, cook my meals, no pills, isolate myself, no driving, very little sitting, frequent breaks, more vegetables. Yes. And I will tell you, for me, I get significantly worse the longer I'm on the computer. Honestly, if I was not on the computer at all during the day, I bet you anything I would be cured. I really do. Being on the computer really is bad for my brain fog and my pain. And so if I wasn't on the computer at all, I think I would be I almost guarantee I would be cured. I just know I would be, because I notice significantly the more I'm on the computer, the worse I get. But with our business, that's the way it is. So Lou, what helped me is I got a blood test to see all the foods that my body reacted to. I removed 27 foods. It helped amazingly to get rid of those foods. Yes. So I did a food test. Michael put a link in there.
Do you have it already?
I did not put the food test in there either. I'm sorry, I was so unprepared. I thought I was prepared, but as you get going, I did a food test also, and I had 46 foods that I could not eat. And I cut them all out. Now, it did help significantly, but it didn't cure me. And so I'm thinking...
We did the one with 96. Did you do more?
I think I did the one with more. But the first one, to just get you started, right here, that's the one. A food test did help. Diane, I used to have ringing in the ears, and I don't know why it went away. I'm wondering if it went away when I started doing the neuromuscular massage. Now that I think about it, I'm wondering if I had something out of whack in my...
Maybe it was Raymond.
That's what I'm thinking.
Tell your body that it's still alive.
Yeah. He used to say, tell your body it's alive. He had this northeastern accent, and he was really funny. We love Raymond. Diana, finding a good doctor where I am has proven to be a problem. No, it's not where you. It's finding a doctor in general is a huge problem. What time of day do you take your supplements? Well, it depends on what I need. So my magnesium malate I take at night, but everything else I take in the morning. So they give me energy. Sharon says cold weather makes me hurt worse. Yes, for some people it does. Now, when a storm is coming, I can feel it, but the heat and humidity are definitely worse. Debbie says she made the yellow cake from our cookbook, Dieting on a Dime, right here, volume 1. And I also have one in our gluten-free, dairy-free. 35% off right now. She said, it was delicious. Very good.
Woohoo.
Sharon, do so many supplements hurt your stomach? No, I take it after I eat. Melissa, you take only supplements, no medications. Yes, I do not take any prescription medications at this time anymore. The doctor did have me on, send me the next thing, questions real quick. The doctor did have me on a weight loss medication for energy. I don't know, for those of you who remember, I thought that maybe I had a stroke back in January, February. So she said that it was stress. So she gave me a weight loss medication, very low dose, to put it on to help me with energy. I did not lose weight on that. I was on it, but I didn't lose weight. I was on it like 3 or 4 weeks and I didn't lose anything. And then when I cut out the sugar, when I cut out the sugar, then I started losing. That's how I lost the weight. The squishy shoes, the link is in the description, Terry. And do you use Swerve sweetener? Swerve is the only sweetener if I'm going to go with a not honey, not agave, not sugar, any corn syrup, anything like that. That's the only one I can stand, but I still don't use any, fake sweeteners. I know stevia is not fake, but I can't stand the aftertaste. Artificial, that's the word, of artificial sweeteners. I can't stand the taste of artificial sweeteners. Stacia, do you miss pizza? Well, I do. But we do have a really good recipe in our gluten-free, dairy-free cookbook that you can use goat cheese for the cheese, and you can use a gluten-free crust, and it's actually very good. It is really good. So I do miss those things, and I'll be honest, I don't just make a gluten-free, dairy-free pizza for me by myself unless it's just a special occasion, like a birthday or something. But poor Mike, he offers to make me like special things for Mother's Day or my birthday or whatever. I'm like, no, I'll just make it now. He makes me really good omelets. And so I do that. But like if it's my birthday cake or whatever, I'll just make it now. And it's really good. Linda, L-theanine helps theanine. I don't know how you say it. Helps with anxiety. Yes, it does help for some people. Denise, Mama 4, where do you get the code for the cookbook? Mike will put, so I know we talked about your diet a lot. Mike will put the code for the free ebook of the gluten-free, dairy-free edition in the description. It's in the description below. And he will put it in the links in the comments right now for you also. And
the code was GFDF. It does not matter if it's large or small, but you have to put it in the discount code thing, and it only works on the ebook.
Yeah. Although if you follow the link, it'll automatically put the code in for you. So I'm hoping that will help.
Oh, that link will put it in?
Yeah. So if you follow the link, it will just put the code in for you already.
Are you sure? Because
try it. Yeah.
Oh, did you tell it to just automatically add the code when they get that?
So add to cart.
Oops. Sorry, I already had one in there because I was testing it earlier.
Hold on. Mike's going to test it just to make sure, but it should just put it in there already.
It probably will. I might have messed it up when I was testing the code to make sure because I knew somebody was going to struggle with it.
Now go to checkout. Click I agree to terms. There you go. Dun, dun, dun. Just a minute. We're testing the code just to make sure, but yeah. And guys, try to be careful. Well,
no, I think I messed it up. Hold on, let me do it in the other browser because I took it out of I took it off the thing a little while ago.
Well, I thought if you did the code, it just automatically put the coupon in there. Well, that's weird. Well, just put just put where it says discount code, just put GFDF and hit apply and it will work.
You have to hit checkout before you get to the place where you can see the coupon code.
Yeah. So hit checkout and then discount code and hit apply.
If it asks you for payment information, you didn't do it right.
Yeah. So. And try not to be too hard on yourself. I mean, guys, the brain fog is the thing that is the hardest for me. But like I just discovered today that last week I threw away my favorite pair of earrings that I just bought like a month or two ago. Gorgeous earrings. I absolutely love them. And I just realized today when I went to go put them on for the show that I threw them away in the trash and they're gone. And I was like, oh my goodness. Why? Because I put them in the box, the original box, just to store them. And I remembered thinking that the box was empty. So I just threw the box away. And then Mike emptied the trash last week and they're gone.
What were they?
My earrings, my new earrings I just got. So, when you do stupid stuff like that, you do stupid stuff. Your brain is not functioning right. So just be graceful with yourself and let it go and move on. And now I'm just going to have Mike buy me some new ones for Christmas. So anyway, Let's see. Cindy says, joining late today, just reading the comments and so many red flags going up. I had mono 6 years ago and am chronically tired. Thought it was the meds I'm on. Maybe not. It may not be. It could be chronic fatigue syndrome or fibromyalgia. And I'm going to do a series of videos on symptoms and a shortened version of treatments and all those kinds of things for you guys in the weeks coming. So thanks, Studio, for sharing this on Twitter. I really appreciate it. And if you're here from Twitter, welcome. Jenny, I somehow got 2 orders of your cookbook, so I returned one set. I'm not sure how you would refund me. Okay, if you could send us an email, editor@livingonadime.com, editor@livingonadime.com, or go to livingonadime.com and click on the contact form, and then we can take care of that. Thank you. One day at a time. I appreciate the kind words. Okay. Have you tried foam rolling? Yes, I have done foam rollers, and that's something I didn't mention, but actually it does help a lot. Tammy says, I have fibromyalgia, but it doesn't have me. Yes, that is my point of view. Yeah.
Did you say
greatest more? Ever? Have I done fasting? Yes, I have done fasting many times. And that's how, one of the ways that I knew that it was food that was causing my problems, because I felt better when I was fasting. What?
Did you ask me to send you the other ones or not?
Yeah, you can if you want. I use copper arthritis gloves. Denise says yes. And she says going gluten-free, dairy-free really helps. Yeah, and the sugar. I don't want to admit it, guys, but the sugar really does help too. What sugars do I use? I don't use anything. So if you want to use an artificial sweetener, you can, but I just quit. Now I will say I wasn't totally cured. People will tell you go off sugar and every ailment you have is cured. And that's just not the case. So
they lied.
Yeah. Karen, let's see.
Oh, there's not really.
Oh, yeah. Karen says to make sure you check with your doctor. Yes, I said that earlier. This is not medical information, guys. I'm just telling you things that I have done. Let's see. Denise says one thing that I actually got from Fly Lady was to get dressed and lace up shoes. It gives me Yes, it gives everyone energy somehow mentally. Yes, it is. And here's the thing. You guys, you do not understand the importance of getting dressed. And that's why I'm doing a whole video on this whole backlash from Michael put it up again here real quick, from my comment that I made on Saturday. You put the picture up of the pajamas. And so when I put this up, the hate that I got was unbelievable. And it says, remember when we didn't go in public wearing pajamas? The same is with if you're 350 pounds or if you're 150 pounds and you've got leggings on so tight that your butt crack is showing. For men, if your pants are down around your ankles and I'm seeing your underwear and your butt at the same time, it's the same thing. Have some self-respect. You may be sick. Thank you. You may be sick, but you can still have enough self-respect to put on some clothes and cover your body so that you are presentable to society. Whether you like it or not, it makes a huge difference. It really does. And we had a nurse, I think, comment on that same post about how they've done studies that show that when they dress patients in the hospital in their clothes over a gown, they will heal twice as fast as staying in their gowns. It's proven. So,
so because somebody had a problem with it here, if you get to the page where it asks for the charge on the gluten-free ebook, do not put a payment method in.
No.
If you get to that and you put a payment method in, it means that you didn't get the code to go through properly. So at the page where before the payment, but I think on the payment page it would also show it. There's a little box that says discount code. Just put the GFDF right there. Yep. But don't pay for the free book.
Yeah. I have a hope I gained 60 pounds on the medication they had me on. Yes, that's one reason why I refused to take prescription medication for this, because I was gaining weight. I'm already predispositioned to gaining weight. I fought it my whole life. And it's just the side effects, the headaches, the lack of sleep. It just wasn't worth it for me to be on prescriptions. Linda, it's hard to find clothes that don't hurt my skin. Yes, I totally understand. Noelle, your cheesy tomatoes and rice is the best thing I've ever made. Dining on a Dime Cookbook Volume 1 is 35% off right now. Thank you, Noelle. That is great. I'm so glad you like it. Andre, hello from Romania. Oh, how cool. She's been watching, or they've been watching us a long time. Thank you so much. I have always wanted to go to Romania, actually.
Really?
I have. I'm
just finding this out.
Yes. I always thought it would be so cool to visit your country. I love it. Actually, I think I would like to live there. But Lori, thank you for doing this video. You're welcome. Do you have more questions?
There are, just a second.
Okay, Mike's going to send me the questions here.
You got through all those already? Girl.
Hey. Make it snappy.
Oops, I think
have I tried allulose as a sweetener while Mike's getting me the questions? I have not heard of allulose. I don't know. My biggest problem with artificial sweeteners is the aftertaste. I do not like aftertaste on my food. I just don't. And so that's why I just don't use any sweetener at all. Yeah, unfortunately. So I did find from my food test, though, that I actually have a food sensitivity to cane sugar. So that's part of my problem with white sugar. Yes, Bev D says, does cannabis oil help? Yes. So you can try cannabis oil, and I have tried it, and it did help. Frankly, I tasted like eating dirt. I had the drops. I guess it could come in a capsule. I don't know. I could not gag it down. I did gag it down, and it did help for like 2 weeks, but I finally just got to the point where I couldn't gag it down anymore. But Vonda, so gluten is bad for fibromyalgia. Not all people, but a lot of people have a sensitivity to gluten, and it makes their fibromyalgia worse. Sugar, the top contenders are sugar, dairy, wheat, and corn. Those are the top 4. And then the 5th one is your nightshade vegetables, potatoes, onions, green peppers, and tomatoes. And here I have I probably have 40 pounds of tomatoes from my garden. And I'm like, oh man, I need to cut it out and see if that's part of my problem. Because I'm still working on trying to tweak and start feeling, to where I could say I'm cured. SLMH, you 2 are a blessing. Oh, thanks. Thank you.
Andrea says she's waiting for you to come to Romania.
I would love to go there. I think that would be great. I would love to go there. Becky Ann, when doing the food sensitivity, is it just questions or do you need to get a blood sample? Nope. You zap your finger and you drop blood on a card and then you mail it in. Cindy, and there is controversy on the blood sample, and you don't have to do a blood test. A very, very simple way to do a food elimination diet is to simply only eat rice and salt, or only eat sweet potatoes and salt for probably 3 or 4 days and see if you feel better. If you feel better after 3 or 4 days, you'll probably notice right away. I notice within 48 hours when I've eaten something and I shouldn't have. Like we went out to eat at a new restaurant. We go to one Mexican restaurant on date night because we know that we can eat it.
It's like the only place
It's the only place we go. We tried a new barbecue place and it was super tasty, but I was horridly sick. So I don't know what they put. And I was being really careful. So I don't know what they put in it, but I notice right away now when I get sick. Linda said, thank goodness I thought I had dementia. Yeah, that's exactly what you feel like. You do feel like you're losing your mind. And there are days I'm still wondering, but Cindy, binge watching Living on a Dime relaxes me while I'm working on Christmas gifts. Ah, and she feels so empowered. Yay. I'm so glad. That's great. Thank you. Vonda, I'm on no prescriptions. I'm trying anti-inflammatory foods, herbal teas, and replace sugar with honey. Yes, but even honey, for me, honey and agave, all of those still flare me up enough that I've gone off of those. One day at a time. Thank you for the free ebook. You are welcome. Happy early Thanksgiving to us. Thank you. I love Thanksgiving. Have I ever tried hyperbaric treatments? No. And I don't know what that is. I'm not sure. That doesn't sound good. I don't know. I don't even want to know what a hyperbaric treatment is.
Some kind of I think it's one of those things where they put you in an oxygen tank or something like that. And
oh, well, okay. That might be all right. Yeah. I mean, actually that I could see something like that actually helping. Yeah. I could actually see. And they did do a study in Israel this year that they came out with the results that people with fibromyalgia have a certain bacteria in their gut that they think is causing the fibromyalgia. Now, why I didn't do better when I went on all the antibiotics for 3 months then, that doesn't make sense then because it should have killed all that. But, you know, there are some of those things. So, okay. So what about monk fruit as a sweetener? My problem is I can't find a monk fruit that doesn't have xylitol, and xylitol gives me diarrhea. So I can't take xylitol. All right. Any other questions, dear?
I just said this, but you might.
Okay. What is my favorite clothes and jewelry when you get dressed?
She says wear them.
Oh, wear your fit. Yes, definitely. Yeah, it really does help. And you don't have to wear a lot of jewelry, but like normally I keep earrings in, you know, and even if I just leave the same earrings in, at least I look put together. Passing through, it may have been said already, but pacing yourself is vital. Overdoing or pushing myself always sets me back. So yes and no. Yes, you need to pace yourself, but you kind of have to push yourself sometimes also, or you'll never get ahead. You have to at least keep doing something with slightly more to keep building your endurance. So, and you guys will see probably Friday's video, Thursday or Friday's video is going to be the off-grid laundry. And you'll see it was a lot for me to do that. So, what's THC? I didn't say anything about THC. Somebody in the comments might have said that. Oh, I don't know. That's a cannabis oil thing. Like, oh, if that's in it, it has whatever. THC. So cannabis oil is basically marijuana oil. It's what it is. Okay. And I can't say that too many times or YouTube will kick me off. So, but the happy weed that everybody smokes in the 60s and when they're in high school and college, the THC is the stuff that makes you high. And so they take that out and then you're just left with the oil. And so then you don't get high taking the oil, but the pain relieving properties do help. So yes, it can be very beneficial for some people, but I don't know if it's legal in all states. I don't know if it is or not. I think it's not. I don't know that it is. And so you have to be careful because like in Colorado, now it may be different now, but when the happy stuff came out in Colorado, if you were traveling to Kansas with the oil, you could get arrested in Kansas for just having the oil, even though it didn't have anything in it. Now, I don't know if that's the same everywhere. So, but it shouldn't, it won't make you woo or anything like that. These are the only ones you haven't gotten so far. If any of that is something. Actually, Kelly, I think stevia is fine. Just Tara doesn't like it. I don't like the taste. Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. You can use it if you want. I just don't like the taste of it. So. And Deborah, as far as sweets, when she's off all sugar, she pretty much doesn't have sweets, right? Yeah, I just don't eat anything sweet. I will get some sugar-free popsicles. I can stand the sweetener in those. I will get some sugar-free candies. I like the gummy bears. I like the peanut butter bars that are sugar-free. I like the little licorice things on Amazon. I should probably put a link on those. Those are really good, sugar-free. I can eat those. But I'll get a few specialty candies, but they're ridiculously expensive, so I don't buy them that often. It's not worth it. And yeah, I just don't eat anything sweet. And then I'll fall off the wagon and I'll regret it and then I'll go again. So, yeah. So I don't know, but I just don't eat anything. I don't know what allulose is. I'll have to check that one out. That's a new one on me. Let's see. I take generic Mucinex. Guaifenesin helps prevent vertigo. Yeah, so guaifenesin is an older treatment of chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia also. And also, you will see a lot about the GAPS diet and fermented foods. I did do the GAPS diet and fermented foods like sauerkraut and stuff like that. I was 1,000 times worse. Well, come to find out, I'm allergic to mold. Well, guess what? I cannot figure out why. I know people say, oh, probiotics. Do you know what probiotics are? It's basically mold. It's bacteria mold that's growing in your food. I don't know if it's a fungus or if it's a mold. Let's see. I think it's a fungus. Well, I'm highly allergic to those things. I'm highly allergic to the mold and fungus in compost. Well, that's basically what's in all this stuff. And so when I was on the GAPS diet and all of that, it did make me worse. So, you just got to figure out for what some of these things help you with, and then just trial and error until you can kind of get a protocol that works for you. So, all right, let me see what else.
If you missed any of the links that we shared and you wanted to go back and find them, you can go to livingonadime.com, and up at the top where it says videos, there's a little drop-down menu, and show notes is one. And I added all those links to there because I know a lot of people didn't catch all the ones they wanted to see. So
yeah, and so all of those on there. All right, thank you guys. We have 35% off all of our print books until tomorrow right here. 35% off livingonadime.com. Please go check out my other videos on chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia. It tells you the other things that I have done. This has been a process, but like I said, I'm much better now. Visit us Monday night. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye. Wait, Monday night?
Wednesday night.
Wednesday night. Bye.